Vice President Leni Robredo's lawyers filed a counter-manifestation before the Supreme Court 2 days after Bongbong Marcos petitioned to inhibit an associate justice in the vice presidential electoral protest. On Wednesday, November 11, Robredo's lawyers say all justices of the Supreme Court will be forced to inhibit if they are to follow the logic of the former Senator Marcos's request. Marcos on Monday, November 9, petitioned the court sitting as the Presidential Electoral Tribunal to inhibit Associate Justice Marvic Leonen, citing the justice's personal biases against the Marcos family. On the same day, Solicitor General Jose Calida also filed his own motion to inhibit Leonen for similar reasons. Robredo's camp says if Marcos and Calida are to impute bias against Leonen for being an appointee of former President Noynoy Aquino, appointees of President Rodrigo Duterte must inhibit as well. Addressing Marcos's refusal to accept defeat, Robredo's lawyers say the truth, no matter how difficult or bitter it might be, must be accepted. Senator Pia Cayetano fumes after Senator Risa Ontiveros calls for a legislative probe into alleged irregularities in the funding of sports facilities used in the 2019 SEA Games.
I am embarrassed that we choose to make a political issue out of a world-class facility. Kaya tuloy, wala nang mag-aabalang magpatayo ng matitino at kahanga-hangong mga infrastructure dito sa Pilipinas. Dahil magpatayo ka lang ng maganda, sasabihin na sa'yo na may kalokohan ka.
In a privileged speech Tuesday, November 10, Cayetano accuses Ontiveros of using the Senate as a platform to politicize the project at New Clark City in Tarlac. Cayetano takes offense when Ontiveros asked whether the project will end up becoming a white elephant.
Paano magiging white elephant? Madam Sponsor, do you even know what are the conditions of our sports facilities?
Cayetano, a sports enthusiast and former national athlete, says the facilities at New Clark City means a lot to Filipino athletes who were so used to training in dilapidated ones. Ontiveros says questioning the government for possible anomalies in the project does not tarnish athletes' achievements or discount their contributions. Meantime, President Rodrigo Duterte is offering a prize of 50,000 pesos or 100,000 pesos to anyone who can give him information on corrupt government officials and their dealings. Duterte announces this reward money during a recorded public address aired Tuesday night, November 10.
All you have to do is to let me know. And may prize ako. Pagka mayroon kang malaki, if it's a malaking sindikato, ghost project ni Director Putang Ina, I'll give you 50,000.
Duterte says the informant need not even give their names when they report on corrupt officials.
Ibulong mo lang na niluluto yan. I'll give you 100,000. And I will keep your identity secret until I reach my grave.
But experts point out Duterte has not made any institutional reforms to address the causes of corruption. Days after the victory of United States President-elect Joe Biden, the Philippines says it has decided to extend its Visiting Forces Agreement or VFA with the U.S. for another 6 months. In a speech addressed to White House National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, Foreign Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. on Wednesday, November 11, cites the security provided by the military deal in the South China Sea.
A great deal of credit for the renewal of stability and security goes to deft diplomacy, unequivocal expressions of policy, sturdy postures of strength combined with unfailing tact, and pragmatic national security advice exhibited by both our governments in the same period.
With this new 6-month extension, the VFA is still considered effective until the first few months of 2021. Duterte earlier raised his plan to terminate the VFA on January 23 after the U.S. canceled the visa of his ally, Senator Ronald De La Rosa. Hong Kong strips 4 pro-democracy lawmakers of their seats immediately after China gives the city the power to disqualify politicians deemed a threat to national security. The decision on Wednesday, November 11, comes after one of China's top lawmaking committees ruled that Hong Kong could remove any legislator deemed a threat to national security without going through the courts. Hong Kong's democracy camp has been under attack since Beijing imposed a sweeping national security law in June. The law prompts political disqualifications, arrests for social media posts, and activists fleeing overseas. It was imposed to quell months of huge and often violent democracy protests that broke out last year. A video claiming 70% of COVID-19 related deaths in the US are from nursing homes is false. A Facebook page called Lynn Channel makes the claim in a video posted in October 23 where it cites New York as an example where 70% of coronavirus-related deaths occurred in nursing homes. However, a report published by the Washington Post on October 16 sets the number of COVID-19 related deaths in U.S. nursing homes at roughly 41%. The New York Times also says that in New York, nursing homes accounted for 20% of COVID-19 related deaths as of the end of October, not 70%. Among the 50 states in the U.S., New Hampshire has the greatest number of coronavirus deaths from nursing homes, which was at 80%.